Last class we discussed about single stage reciprocating compressors. What is the work requirement per cycle in polytropic process? Is N. Why? Because if N we know it's air we are compressing, we know the N value is 1.4 diatomic gas. Or it is isothermal process, practically not possible. But in single stage reciprocating compressors, we all know we want to get high pressure discharge, then high compression ratio we want to maintain. The specific volume of the air is fixed inside the cylinder. Then we are increasing the pressure means temperature also increasing drastically. So by the prime mover, by electrical motor we are using connected to the compressor. By using that prime mover, whatever the energy we are supplying, the total energy not absorbed by the air, because the temperature rise is taking place. Due to the temperature rise, the ambient temperature and the compressed air temperature, due to high temperature difference, more energy lost to the environment is taking place. Second thing, due to high compression ratio we are maintaining in the clearance volume, high dense air is available. If high dense air is there, while in suction stroke, first that clearance volume air is expanding inside the cylinder. Then after all inlet valve will open. So it is occupying more volume, then volumetric efficiency of the compressor is reducing drastically. In a single stage we are getting the high compression ratio. There is a two main drawbacks for single stage air compressor. That's why we are using multi-stage air compressors. By the multi-stage air compressor, same thing we are taking place. I will show the diagram. So in the single stage, at ambient condition, ambient pressure and temperature, the air is entering into the first low pressure compressor. Then after compression, the exhaust valve will open. It is in between we are providing intercooler. I will tell the effect of the intercooler. Even though it is not in there is no intercooler, the compressed air is entering into the second stage of compressor, and the compression is taking place. The compressed air after second stage of rise, we are getting it is moved to the discharge tank. It is moved to the storage tank. From the storage tank at fixed temperatures we are moving. At fixed pressures, wherever it is requirement is there, the air circulation will takes place by the pipeline. Pneumatic guns means flexible pipelines. Or general case we have pneumatic guns or air filling stations. Flexible pipelines we are using. In general conditions, compressed air fixed pipelines are there. One thing. So we are reducing compression ratio drastically. We are reducing by the operation. So the cost of the system is reducing. Second, the operation maintenance cost also is reducing. And the prime mover losses, the mechanical efficiency of the engine is increasing. Why? Because whatever the work requirement is there, if high weight, high mass of the moving parts are there, to overcome the inertia, it is consuming more energy. And third one, heat loss to the ambient is reducing. And fourth one, we can produce intercooling also. If you are capable to produce intercooling, then what it will affect means, by using intercooling, the exit temperature of the first low pressure cylinder, we can cool to inlet temperature of the low pressure cylinder. We are reducing the temperature means, then automatically after compression the exit temperature is also reducing drastically. Based on the pressure ratio only temperature rise will take place. So by this operation, we can reduce the exit temperatures of the compressed air drastically by using the intercooling. The main effect of the intercooling, we can reduce drastically the effect of the temperature rise in single effect multi-stage compressors. This is the, I will show in one more diagram. There it is clearly, we can explain. So saving of the work input, better balancing of the engine is taking place, no leakage and better lubrication we are getting, more volumetric efficiency I already mentioned, high compressed air stored in volume, clearance volume, while in expansion it is occupying more volume of the cylinder. Next, high delivery pressure. The fifth one, high delivery pressure. And fifth, sixth, simple construction of low pressure cylinder, at least low pressure cylinders, whatever the low pressure cylinders is there, the material cost we are reducing. So we are reducing, we are enhancing the mechanical efficiency of the low pressure compressors, low pressure cylinders. In the low pressure cylinders, we can use the cheap materials also. But by the multi-stage, we require number of cylinders. More number of cylinders are required for multi-stage operation, and intercooling is also required. The main purpose is to reduce the heat loss, so intercooling is required. And complicated construction means intercooling there, without pressure drop, the air movement is required from one cylinder to another cylinder. Some pressure drop is taking place means there is no use of the multi-stage compression. How we are designing the intercoolers, the complication in the construction is increasing by multi-stage, but there are more advantages compared to disadvantages. Same work input required, whatever the assumptions we made in single cylinder, single stage compression, same, we are not considering the clearance volume. We are the pressure drops, there is no pressure drops in the suction or outlet pipelines, and discharge and suction stroke will take place at constant pressure process only. These are the assumptions. What are the assumptions we made? Same assumptions we are considering for determination of the work input per cycle for multi-stage compression. We consider only two stages. One is low pressure compression, second one is high pressure compression. Equation already we developed the work requirement polynomial process n by n minus 1 into P1 V1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1 for the single stage. P2 is the inlet to the second high pressure compression. P3 is the discharge of second stage compression. Then n by n minus 1, P2 V2, this is the inlet. P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. This is the equation. Suppose instead of P1 V1 you can write MR, means MR T1 into same P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1 plus n by n minus 1 MR T2 into P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. This is the work per cycle work requirement in multi-stage compressors. If perfect intercooling is taking place, this perfect intercooling were taking place, what I mentioned, the exit temperature is dropped to the inlet temperature by the cooling system, intercooling system. Then the final equation will get n by n minus 1 mr T1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 minus 1 plus n by n minus 1 mr. Here instead of T2 we are reaching by the perfect intercooling in T1 only, in initial temperature. Then T1 into P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. Then both are safe, both pressure ratios are same. So the both temperatures are same. So finally you can kept common MRT1 W into n by n minus 1 MRT1 P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1 plus minus 1 minus 2 kilojoules per cycle. Okay, if perfect intercooling is there, then the work requirement isothermal process is very low. If adiabatic process compared to polynomial is low, in polynomial process also perfect intercooling we are doing, the work requirement is reducing drastically. Without cooling effect, the work requirement of the compression of the air. These are the graphical representation in PV diagram. Area under PV diagram will give the work transaction. Isothermal process very low. Next, adiabatic process is good, but practically not possible. Some heat loss will take place. Perfect intercooling will get the less work input compared to without perfect intercooling. This is the final equation. Work requirement of the multi-stage compression at perfect intercooling. N by n minus 1 MRT1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n plus P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 2. Okay. So I want condition for the minimum work requirement or maximum. So I want to determine the intermediate pressure. That's indirectly I want to determine the intermediate pressure. Differentiate this work requirement with respect to intermediate pressure and equate to 0. You will get the what is the optimum intermediate pressure for minimum work requirement. That's all simple. Like nozzles, how we are calculated. Same method we are calculating. Here for the calculation, first we are assuming this. These are the constant values. We gain total value. We gain some constant number n by n minus 1 MRT1. We consider as a constant k, and n minus 1 by n, one more arbitrary constant we consider as a. That's all. These all are constants. It's not involving in this integration and differentiation. Why unnecessarily we want to increase the size of the equation? Just we consider some assumption. Then we substitute the equation W equal to k into P2 by P1 whole power a plus P3 by P2 whole power a minus 2. Then P2 power a, it is come to the numerator P1 power minus a, P3 power a, P2 come to numerator P2 power minus a and minus 2. Differentiate with the intermediate pressure P2, then Ka a into P2 power a minus 1 into P1 power minus a, and P2 power minus a minus 1 into minus a into P3 power a equal to 0. The final equation Ka into P2 power minus a P1 power minus a plus K into minus a P3 power a P2 power minus a minus a. You come this side. Ka P2 power a minus a means divided by P2. P1 power minus a divided by P1 power a minus Ka into multiple plus into minus Ka into P3 power a divided by P2 and minus a come to divided by P2 power a and minus 1 and P2. P3 power a by P2 into P2 power a equal to 0. Then Ka can cancel. Final equation P2 power a divided by P2 into P1 whole power a equal to P3 power a divided by P2 into P2 power a. Then P2 can cancel. The final equation P2 by P1 whole power a equal to P3 by P2 whole power a. Then P2 by P1 equal to P3 by P2, or P2 square equal to P1 and P3, or P2 equal to square root of P1 into P3. So the intermediate pressure of the multi-cylinder engine, it's a geometric mean of the initial and final pressure. It is a geometric mean of initial and final pressure. Then only we will get the minimum work requirement for the compression of multi-cylinder engine, multi-stage compression. Then you substitute that one P2 by P1 equal to P3 by P2, P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1. Then P2 equal to square root of P3 into P1. Then P1 also write in square root of P1 square. Then P1 and P1 square root of P1 and square root of P1 will cancel. Final equation will get square root of P3 by P1. You see the final equation 2 into n by n minus 1 MRT1 square root of P3 by square root of P1 whole power n minus 1 by n. If square root we removed, divide by 2. So W equal to 2 into n minus 1 into MRT1 P3 by P2 whole power n minus 1 by 2n minus 1. If you substitute MRT1 instead of MRT1, we will substitute P1 V1. Suppose 3 stage. So is instead of 2n, it will come 3n. Instead of P3, you will get P4, and instead of 2 minus n minus 1 by 2, you will get the 3. Same. So for multi-stage, if I don't know X stage of the multi-stage compression reciprocating engine, what is the minimum work requirement? Then X into n divided by n minus 1 MRT1 P x plus 1 divided by P1 whole power n minus 1 by X into n minus 1. Instead of MRT1, if you know P1 V1, you substitute P1. This is the minimum work requirement. When the minimum work requirement will get, the intermediate pressure is the geometric mean of inlet and exit pressure. Then only we will get the minimum work requirement. This is the minimum work requirement equation. Come to the rotary compressors. Rotary blower generally we are using for supercharging and turbocharging of internal combustion engines, and vane tape blower also we are using same thing for supercharging turbocharging of internal combustion engines. Means high volume discharge but pressure rise is negligible amount. So next one, centrifugal compressor. This one we are using so many places, the centrifugal compressors. Rotary compressors, main important compressor is one is centrifugal compressor, second one is axial flow compressors. The construction of centrifugal compressors, the impeller blades of the centrifugal compressor is placed on the prime mover. Impeller blades covered by the casing. In axial flow direction, while prime mover is rotating in the axial direction, compressed air, the air is suctioned into the impeller. While its rotation, it is a pressure rise. The pressure rise will take place. Once the raised pressure is moving in radial direction to the diversified suction area. Here increasing, the end it is increasing. The area radially it is increasing to the exit. So volume discharge we are increasing. Compression we are getting less compression ratio, but the volume discharge we are in diversified cross section area we are increasing the more volume discharge. This is the centrifugal compressors. Where we are using means many applications. Centrifugal compressors are using for low pressure units such as refrigeration, supercharging of internal combustion engines. High pressure means centrifugal there is no use. Next, axial flow compressors. Here axial flow compressor contains blades, simple blades, stator and rotor. Stator contains blades and rotor also contains blades. Rotor is directly connected to the prime mover. While air is sucked in between the stator and rotor blades, this volume is high. The inlet volume is high compared to exit volume. The inlet volume is high compared to exit volume. While rotation of the compressed air, first it will come into the high volume area. While its rotation, this volume further compression, further number of stages, indirectly we call number of multi stages compression. By using single axial flow compressor we can achieve. Simple, with single rotor and single stator, this volume continuously we are reducing. Automatically compression of the air sucked in between the first volume automatically it transferred to the last volume. Finally compressed air discharged to the combustion process. Where we are using axial flow compressors means the main application, they are widely using high pressure units such as industrial or marine gas turbine plants and aircrafts also we are using. Because single compressor we are getting multi-stage compression. Gas turbines we are using the axial flow compressors. So it is a brief explanation of the rotary compressors. With this we are completing air compressors. Okay, all the best.